Should work. Executed. And let's share.
When you're 85 years old on your deathbed, you're not going to wish you had fewer crazy stories. So let me introduce you to
other you. You can see where I was watching. Try to keep off my deathbed. Right. So let's get going. Schedule stream connection. So we're streaming now. So have you guys got all that running? Can you see my mouse?
Yep.
Great stuff. Right. So I'm going to put that straight. Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to run this across to some other. There we go. A different screen. Right. We'll let's get going then. Right. So I've just done the pivots for the S&P. We'll do the analysis. Let's go back over what we've done this morning. So the trades that made 3% this morning on gold got stopped, and then another. We're in gold now. We'll have to go and have a look at where we are. DAX, that was a stop cable. We've mullered cable, and we're in cable again. We made 1% on cable, and FTSE expiry break even. We then traded the expiry again and then won. So let's have a quick look. So all in all, we're up about 3.5% today. We'd like to add to that. I've not put any bots on today because I've been a little bit busy doing some other things. But let's have a quick scoot round and see where we are. So hopefully all the IB guys, the initial balance breakouts on the UK absolutely flew. So that was I think was that the trade this morning that won quite nicely. And I'm just going to have a look and see what those alerts are screaming at me. Crude coming back down, which will be bringing the FTSE down. Won't look at that just yet. So FTSE really quite negative after interest rates not being increased, static, and then retail sales up a lot more than expected, has put power into the pound, which has really had an impact on the big blue chips because obviously, oh, right, we've come right down into my target area here. I'm going to turn this IB indicator off. So this is what I was talking about this morning. This would be my utopia trade to be able to get into this at 8225. So we'll put an alert on that. It's Friday. Generally, we're going to sell off on a Friday. So we're kind of at the bottom of the range as it is at the moment. So we've got the closing gap as well. I'll put an alert down there, see if we can get a really big exhaustive count. And if we do, then we can't really ignore that as a trade. I can't really ignore that as a trade. Let's quick look at save this. Let's have a look at the DAX. See where we are with the DAX. Still waiting for that elusive BBO, of course, won. I forgot about that. So everyone did the BBO, a nice little winner. The market came all the way back down, nearly to break even, and then hit full target. So well done for everyone who did the BBO. As you can see, it's been contained within the initial balance, and we're coming back down again into these IBL lows here. Now, what I want to do here, I'm looking for the DAX to rise. As you know, we're waiting for that, and we've obviously took a trade already, and we're in on the calls. So I'm just gonna put an alert down the bottom of this balance here. And what I'm looking for, I'll just get rid of all these drawings now. There we go. I'll get rid of all this. We've done that. That's history, and we've made some money on that. What I'd like to do is then, because it's a Friday, we generally know what can happen on a Friday with the DAX. So what we're going to do, we're going to wait for a challenge on the extreme, the 9:30 extremes this morning, and then we're going to look for a 1 minute fractal reversal similar to this. And what we're going to do, we're going to look for that as a bit of a break and go for a one-to-one there. So that's what we're going to look for. So we'll keep those alarms on. Let's go and have a quick scoot out to cable. So we're in cable again. So, right. So obviously in cable this morning, went up. We took some rupees out of cable, which is very nice indeed. Cable can often move on the American Open. We're half an hour away from that just yet. But what I would like to do is we're up well over 1%. And I've just took a little bit of profit off the table on this other account. And I think, yes, I think I want to go back in. Bear with 1 minute. I'm just going to go back in on this. Yeah. So let's see. Stop. We're going to move our stops up here, guys. If you want to take your profits up over 1%, then that's fine. Otherwise, stop to entry, keep it a free trade, and let's see if we can get this market to ride. On the Richter scales, the cable's on US dollars 4 and pound is 6.2. So eyes to the pound certainly do have it. Bear with me 1 minute. I don't want to miss out on this next fracker break here. So is anyone interested in doing another 5 minute fracker on cable? Or are you already loaded up and trading cable? Nobody?
No, I am Steve. I'm in it.
Yeah, right.
I'm still in, Steve.
Yeah, fine. Great stuff. Great stuff. Very quiet room this morning and tonight, this afternoon, I should say. Bear with me 1 minute. I'm just going to put a trade on cable on a different machine. Just hang on 1 second. I don't want to miss out on a nice little tickle. Right. I'll do the job. Right. So I've just done a fractal break here. We'll do the same fractal break here on this account as well. So we're looking at 1.3324 will be the break, and we'll put the stops under this fractal swing low here of we'll call it 13 pips. And we'll see if we can rip a few more rupees out of that market. This is a free trade, so it doesn't make any difference. So we're going to, we'll round that into that. That'll do the job fine. We've already been up into these targets before, so there's no reason why the market won't go a little bit further. So let's just extend that a little bit better than a one-to-one. And we'll see if we can get another double tap in here. Just write this trade down rather than the end of the day scribbling around looking at all of them. I've got a lot of trades today, and we've done really well. So I'm expecting quite a few things off the market today. So we better go and have a look at the American session in a minute. We need to have a little look at gold as well. So we've got a 13 pip stop and a 16 pip target there. So that's going to give us a return of 1.23, just over 1.2% return on that. So that'll be a nice little banker as well. I'm going to put an alert here on the bottom. Another either one we've been trading short is here. We're waiting for a pullback. Right, we did get that pullback. Did anyone trade the pullback we were waiting for? I wanted it higher. The alerts didn't come off as the alerts. Did anyone actually trade euro pound? Nice little trade. Fractal reversal here. Boom, easy 1%. I didn't do it, so never mind. But nice to see it worked. But I would like to trade it if the market comes up higher. A quick look at gold, and then we're on the American markets. Right. So we're in gold again. We've hit all the targets. Boom, boom, boom. All the targets have gone. Just a reminder, the forecast, on the 20th of March, I forecast the market would actually hit 2598 in September. But my target was way out though, wasn't it? I was about a few days out, but we hit the target nevertheless. And I have a 3,000 target, as everyone in the room knows, by end of December, $3,000 per troy ounce. So all the targets we hit this year, every single target we've put in, we've hit this year, which is really, really nice. And the targets that we've set today have all been smashed again. So we did an easy 3% on gold, more than that actually. This morning, going to clean this chart up. Let's get rid of these targets. These are no use now. We've already hit them. Right. We put a stop to entry on this already. Stop to entry +1. I forgot what was the target. There it is. Let's have a quick look. It was a 6-pip stop, but we have been stopped out. We did make over 1% and the market come back. I must admit, I was probably a little bit too relaxed about that because we've made so much money this morning. But yeah, that was the cable trade as well. Come off. These are all the trades that we set off doing this morning. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm just seeing is there anything that I missed off. There's nothing that I've missed. We've put everything's in. Right, let's put that out the way on a different screen. If I can get my mouse to move across. I haven't got the patience. Come on. Why won't it switch over on a screen? Oh, that's it there. Trying to move too fast, I think. So stop to break even. We do get like when the American market's on, we do see initial movements on gold and we obviously on cable. So we just need to be cognizant of that and be prepared for. Well, we'll have to wait. Patience is a virtue that we certainly need in this room. I do today. Right. Well, what I'm looking for is a double tap reversal on this fractal here. Right, let's do the Dow gap and then we'll go through the rest of the Americas. So, wow. What I am testing today, oh, Pete's gone. Oh, there he is, Pete. I'm testing the initial balance short bot to see if that will work, see how it does perform it. I think I had a 80% hit rate. So we're running that live out of the test bed today.
I've got mine on too.
You are, yeah, great. So are you in on TV or are you in on PRT?
PRT.
Right, great.
I've got them on the S&P, the Dow, and the NAS long and short today to see how they go.
Yeah, so have I, but not on this one. I didn't want to clutter it up with bots going off all over the place. Everyone will be thinking, what the hell is going on? So I've just put one on this screen and I've got 8 working on the others. So we'll see how that fares. So looking at where we are at the moment, Dow all-time record highs, of course. S&P all-time record highs after the after the news, to be fair, with interest rate cuts. So kind of few stats here which are quite interesting. Short-term impact on the S&P. General US markets really is that it always surges after a cut. And quite interestingly, the stats on the S&P is that from the cut, it usually runs up about 95 points. And that is exactly what happened today. On average, the statistical data on the S&P 500 is that after an interest rate cut, it'll often move 14% to the top side in the following 6 months on a rate cut cycle. For the past 11 rate cut cycles since 1982, the S&P has gained an average of 9.1% over 6 months. On any heavy pullbacks, that's an obvious options opportunity. And we might have a little look at that if it does come off. I would like the market to come off on the S&P and the Dow today after a little blip up. Now, let's have a little look here. So I've got a sell at 4203. This is a Fibo expansion exhaustion count of 61.8%, 42,264. And I have a bullseye to hit, as we always do. We have target, always nice to have a target in mind. So we have got the market, not really a closing gap. Let's get down to the detail. The gap is here. So we've got the closing gap here. We left the closing gap yesterday all the way down here at 41.5. I do have a target today from higher up of 41,850 for the Dow. It's an all-time record high. I think if it can push another squeeze up on an all-time high, with it being a Friday, I think we'll probably get a sell-off, and we could collect a few rupees on that. As far as the closing gap is concerned, today the ATR on the minimum ATR to trade is 78 pips away from the close. It isn't a perfect storm away from the close, and it's only 28 pips. Now, for those more experienced, I'm sure what I'm doing, I was looking for a fractal opportunity to close the gap, and you can see there's the gap. Let's get rid of the baby blues here. This is a resistance area. So you can see here what I was measuring here when I was looking at the markets earlier. We've got all this support area. It would be nice if the market can be bought up again and go up. The unbalanced OBV is down, markets are down. We don't know what orders are set to go off in 12 minutes time, but ideally we would like this market to come down and then buy it, get a RAR on, hit Camarella breakout long, and then sell the sucker with a stop above the 61.8 Fibo, and target initially steady state down to the close and pivot, and then run this all the way down this evening, all the way down here for 350 points. So that could be an absolute slam dunker trade if it comes off in the way we'd like it to. It's going to be about 4.8% return on bank on that trade alone. But we just have to wait to see what the market is going to give us. The market is always right. We can have our own view, but the market is always right. So you've got to be able to trade what you see. We know what's happening fundamentally. We know what the short-term statistics are for the fundamentals on the impact. We know what the medium-term cycles are, and we know what the longer-term cycles are. So as soon as when we look at a few more research points from Ned Davis research, it shows that we historically have the American markets, especially the S&P, performing well following its first decent rate cut, and I think half of 50 basis points is good. Also, the Charles Schwab data indicates that 86% of the time the S&P 500 posted a 12-month a 12-month positive return after the initial cut, and an average rise of 7% since 1982. So we are looking at some potential good option plays on here, but we're also in a month that historically over the past 5-10 years has been a bad month for the American markets. September, it may well finish at the, because it is a triple witching end of quarter expiry at the end of this month. So it's a big expiry. So we could see the American markets all sell off, profit taking, and a good opportunity to get us positioned ready for the Santa rally a little bit early, I know, but if we have a pullback, that's really good. And also we need to start thinking about the pasty trade, and as October comes on, how we're going to approach the rise on the on Greg's, and potentially a few of the elements as well. We can talk about that a bit later. Let's have a look at the S&P. Got 9 minutes to go. I'm just thinking if we can get very sporty, but yeah, I'm not sure that we want to do this in the room. Teaching people some high frequency gap trades. 18 pips, that's absolutely nothing on the Dow. I do expect we'll watch this. This gap will close today for sure. If there's ever a certainty, that is one of them today. That gap will definitely close, and we can watch that on the open. There's a bit of an interest. S&P. Well, targets for the S&P have all been smashed. Take those off, which is great. Where would I like to trade this today? Well, the market is completely overcooked, of course. It is a Friday. With what's going on, the bomb in Lebanon and everything else escalating in the Middle East, are people going to hold on to profits? Are they going to cash them out tonight? Human nature, what they're going to do? I think we're probably going to get a wee bit of if we can get a push up and then a sell off on here again. The only thing I would not sell off today would probably be the tech, with interest rates going down and money being cheaper. There'll be more investments coming into the tech area, I would have thought for certain, which is going to drive the NAS a little bit further. The NAS is the only one that has not hit an all-time record high. So the NAS has still got time to run. Let's go down into the detail to see what we can do here. So quick look at the 4 hour. You can see quite clearly it's screaming positive. I'll put the IBs on, and yeah, right. Oh my God, already know that. Sorry, I just turned. I've gotten. Why people send me messages when we know we're live? I don't know. They could just come in the room. Right. It knocks me off my track so easily when I get these messages. We have a closing gap. I would like you've got the unbalanced volume down. We're trading under. We've got a green rainfall, but we're trading under our averages here. We've got a 926 cross as well. Is the market going to close this gap? Well, We need 11 pips away from the gap really to make it worthwhile doing, because that's the ATR, the average true range. And we'll do the ATR live, just to show you where I get the things from, because one or two people have been struggling with finding the ATR to make sure they get the right pivots. So I'll just take you through that before the market goes live. Before the bell open, the opening bell, I should say. So where are we at the moment? We're this is right on the limit of a gap close. 11.5. We probably could get away with 11. I'm just going to put 11 in here for a 1% risk, 1% reward, and just have a look how that looks. It's 1%. We're so close to that gap being closed in the futures market. Of course, it has already been closed, but this is a cash market, so that doesn't count. It's not a 24-hour market at all. It's a cash market. So ideally, that's going to be a nice little tickle for what should be 1% in the first minute. We'll see. How long have we got? We've got 4 minutes. So I'll just show you where we'll come on to that. We won't trade the NASDAQ out there. We won't trade the NASDAQ out of the trap. What we'll do, we'll watch the American markets. We'll watch for the gap, and then we will do the NASDAQ. And I'll show you how to put the daily pivots in. And we can take it from there, because we've only got just less than 3 and a bit minutes for the market to so we've got cable triggering back down, so we've got a potential cable trade coming on as well. So there's a lot of things to get hold of simultaneously. I'm getting a lot of messages flying through again. Even though I've said please don't send me emails and texts when we are live. But what happens? Everything comes through when we're live. But never mind. Right. Let's see what we can do. Let's. If this can just come down a little bit more, we'll switch. We'll watch the Dow. The Dow should be, well, right, guys. So to be a bit more decisive, we're going to put the order in. We've got a few minutes to go. We are going to put an order in on the S&P and leave it, and then we're going to watch the Dow close its gap. I did say it would work, so we best go down and make sure it does. Hopefully, confirm it does, I should say. As far as risk is concerned, we've got just under about 1.5 minutes left. We have a closing gap here. As far as pivot risk is concerned, we've got a daily pivot in front of us, but with the S&P, we know the S&P generally rises more often than it goes down. And we will get some pivot buyers and pivot sellers. So we do have pivot risk here. Now, sorry, I'm going to have to turn my phone off. People will not stop sending me messages. Sorry, guys. I have to turn my phone off.
You have no new messages.
I know I haven't. Got lots of texts, so.
Who do you want to message?
Oh, it's bloody Siri now. Hold on for the. So I've just thrown the phone the other side of the office. Driving me bonkers. Right, you are. We've got 25 seconds left.
25 seconds, counting down.
Can you hear Siri in the background waffling away? Right. So we've got an order in there. We're now going to go to the Dow. We're going to watch the Dow, and we'll flick backward and forward. So this is the closing gap. This should go quite easily. Actually, we have got an opportunity for 35 minutes. So we're going to go in here now, guys. 35 and 35 is probably good enough. It's half the ATR required, but I'm just looking at this market here, the way it's running. It's running down. We're going to follow this down. We're going to walk the dog under here on this 1 minute bar. And we're going to 35 pip risk. Sorry, we need to turn that telephone off. Sorry about that. Siri won't let me turn the phone off because it's counting down. So we're triggered in on the Dow. And we're also triggered in on the I'll just save the Dow. And with the S&P. We've been triggered on the S&P. The risk is the S&P, we've got a full ATR, 15% ATR movement, which is okay. Bear with me a second, it's pending trade. Alter 5 minutes. I'm just trying to position for cables. It's coming down when I go to the entry into cable on this machine. Confirm. Right. So we're looking for this gap to be closed. We're also looking for the gap on the Dow. We can see the unbalanced volume starting to run through. We're looking for this gap to close. Never had that before. The alarm's going off. And then accidentally activating Siri. And then it won't let me turn it off. Right. Get the first few minutes out of the way, and then we'll look at putting all the pivots and everything into the NASDAQ. I would have liked to get a double tap reversal on here to sell the S&P today, but you know the trouble is, if there's such a thing as a trouble, you can see whether the market how the market's moved. Generally, when you get a confluence, if the market has entered the confluence in a downward trajectory, it usually exits in the same trajectory. That is the risk. The issue we've got here is a closing gap, but of course, there was a closing gap yesterday as well down here. So we've got quite a range here. Well, you would think the market makers are going to help try and push this up into the close at least today to get rid of that gap. I had no alerts go off DAX, so I don't know what the DAX is doing. Must be on its way down, I think. Red alerts on the way up. Really wants to be dropping into that confluence, doesn't it? We want to get a rise out of that. Well, market is running very slow at the moment. So it's starting to see a wee bit of movement. Right, we are getting some alerts coming through now. It's just Germany. It's hit the base. It's hit the bottom. So we'll have a little look at that. Just save this view. I'm putting alerts up into the close up here. We'll go and have a look at the DAX. Right, this is the initial balance indicator. So we didn't actually trade this break here. Very small break, but nevertheless, there was, and as I mentioned at what, 2 o'clock, just after 2 o'clock, that we're looking for the market to come down to initial balance break and then bounce back within it. And that you can see exactly on the line was the first fractal. You wouldn't have traded that. You'd have probably waited for something better, but that would have worked. The second fractal, you might have traded that. That would have worked. Or that fractal for sure, you would have traded that, and that actually worked. So whichever one that you chose, I would have probably chosen. Well, in fact, I would have traded that one there because we quite clearly walked up from the line, and we had a nice closing bar. So yeah, very small movements, but this is the beauty of fractal trading. You can capture all these very small movements. Just turn the IB off and let's zoom out, because this was a alert for the confluence. Yeah, so it's dropped back into this confluence. So if you remember this morning, we were wanting trying to get the market coming down into the daily low, taking a rise out of the daily low. Did anyone take a 15-minute bar? We know the BBO worked. The BBO worked for sure. I know that because the bot traded it. And the 15 and the trade here. Did it work? If we'd walked away and left it, then probably not. The high was 74. And this was 87. And the height was 87. So you'd have been potentially screwed with the spread from making a 1% trade. But by the time the market had come up to camera the breakout short, the two things that we would have done, if we'd been trading this and I didn't trade it, you'd have been a stop to entry or as soon as we broke out of camera alert, breakout short, you'd move your stop under CBOS. So you would have potentially made 2/3 of a percent if you're lucky, more likely 0.5%. But the BBO worked anyway. I think I took the BBO off, didn't I? Yeah, took the BBO off on how that worked. But that was the 11 o'clock breakout, which was here with a swing low in. No, it was a breaker there with a swing low here. Easily made 1%. Really don't want to short the DAX. Not on a Friday. Although I should have put the IB bot on because I can see on the other machine it's working. Triggered. No, it hasn't. That is a fractal. Sorry, it's a fractal bot. Oh, I'm just going to have a look. No, it's the IB bot. Sorry, it's a DAX IB bot. So it's took a break below this line here. Oh, it's gone. So it's obviously hit full target. Right, let's go and look at this US500 and then the Dow. Nothing's really happening. Very, very slow. I remember last Friday it was like pulling it was good in the morning and like pulling teeth in the afternoon. But that's real trading for you. You know, you got to wait for the setups, you got to be patient. And if you've got a strategy that works considerably more often than not, so a lot of our strategies are 70% plus, some of them above 85% probable. So you've got to work, if the setup's there, you play the statistics because the statistics tell you you're going to win and more often than you're going to lose. So with that in mind, you just take the trades. This one really doesn't want to come up. Let's go and have a look at that Dow. I think that Dow has stopped. Dow. Andy, did you do the Dow trade? I know the kind of Aussies are, what time is it now? It's
I didn't do it, Steve. I tried to do it, but I couldn't get. I got margined out, so
right.
I couldn't get an entry.
Right. Well, I can't see a trade on here. Let's just have a look at the stats. It was a crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I took it then set my stop to break even, coming out of break even.
Did you? Great. Well done, Kev. The problem that I've got, I'm going through all the markets for everybody, and it's really difficult to manage every trade because we are day traders, not swing traders. We don't sit and waffle for hours on end and not doing a trade. It's all about doing the trades and getting in and getting out. But sometimes, you know, we get whacked because I'm talking too much. So this gap, you know, I was really confident this gap was going to really close, but the warning was, of course, the pivot boys and girls would actually drive it around the daily pivot, and it looks like they have. The market's come up and then driven back down through the daily pivot, and we do have a gap there. I think if the market comes down significantly, in other words, the minimum requirement is 78 pips for what we want. So if the market comes down again down into these levels, it might be something worth having a a go on, and we'd do that with a fractal. So we can leave that there. I want to look at cable. We've done so well out of cable, and we've been protecting our trades, and we did a stop to entry plus a little bit, and we've been stopped out on cable for some money, and it's coming back again. So that was the ad. If you remember, we moved it up and moved the stop up, protected ourselves, made it risk-free, and then put a new fractal break out there. We'll get rid of, don't need this anymore, do we? The previous trades, get rid of this. So we are coming back down into this area again. Let's zoom right out, look at the helicopter view, make sure we're done. This is what you got to do when you're trading at low levels. Don't get into tunnel vision. Look, have a look at what the larger market's doing. Let's just get that alert switched off, because Germany's obviously coming down a bit further. Let's have a quick look at Germany again before we look at cable. I want to get into cable again. We actually measured the dips. This could come down quite a bit further, and I think we can make a lot more money out of cable today. And maybe we'll concentrate on cable. Where the heck is that alert going off? Wall Street. So Wall Street is actually coming down the way we want it to. I'm not going to bother with crude today. We can leave crude on still. We've been reviewing crude, haven't we? And we've got a pullback on euro pound. I think really it's been hammered to death that we don't need that today. We've already made quite a bit of money. So we don't really need that one. Gold. I think gold and cable. On our live room, we're probably not going to be able to trade the US markets from a lot higher, because at the moment they're really struggling to get the backsides up. It's really dour at the moment. We are hopeful. It would be nice if this could close the gap. Now we've broken this area here. We did say this morning, if this got broken, then the market would really be attracted down to this closing gap, and it has come down to that closing gap. It's broke here now, and it's coming down. Don't want to short the DAX, not on a Friday. We'll probably see a nice reaction off the bottom. We'll put an alert on that, but it's just being patient and waiting for that to happen. It's snapping against the 16,726. I'll do. There we are. So we're right at the top of that confluence. If it comes down, then we'll get some more money out of that. But for the moment, let's leave it to do its thing. I don't want to go and chase that. Cable. Coming back down again. Came within the whisker of the second target, didn't it? First target hit, second target, just half a pip. I was going to look at the Richter scale, but I've removed my phone from the office, wouldn't switch off. Let's just look at these fracker bots. USD Japani. I don't want to touch that as a fracker bot. CAD Swiss, we don't want to be doing CAD this afternoon. We've got the news out. Oh, the news is already out. Retail sales slightly up. And the BOC governor's speech is en route. So we don't want to be trading anything with a CAD on until the news is actually out and done. We've got Lagarde speaking at 4 o'clock UK. And the interesting thing for us on oil, we've got the Baker Riggs oil count. So we said we were going to do the NASDAQ. So let's do the NASDAQ. What are the these alerts? Kind of just want to focus on a few things, don't we? Running round. Right. Every time I put the alerts on, or it goes off and I switch alerts and I find out what was working, it's gone. It's going to turn crude off. We know Germany waiting going low, not interested, or lower, waiting for it to. We'll take a lot of these Germany off and re-put the alerts on so we haven't got alerts going off every 5 minutes. Now here, I do want to get back in on cable. It is having a wee pullback. Nothing really. There isn't a lot of appetite in this candle, looking at the shape of this candle, for the market to really pull back. You can see here with an indecision candle here, flat tops here for the market coming down, and a flat top here for a quick punch down, but nothing here. Very indecisive. So we need to drill down into the detail. Into the 1 hour candles. You can look at the 1 hour candle ranges. Typical pullback prior to this pullback. We've got a decent one, 71 pips, 68 pips, and market's flat. Again, you can see some confluence here. Get rid of this colouring. Market came up, went sideways, some confluence. As you know, if you remember, when the market comes up, it usually leaves in the same direction as it entered. Nearly every time. The only time that will change is if it hits a major support or resistance level, and then it will immediately reverse. So big indecision candle on the hour. You can see where we are now, completely overcooked on the stock. On balance volume, we're not gaining any trade volume whatsoever. It's all to the negative still. But it is reducing. The average true range is coming down. The amount of players in the market going short are reducing. Let's get down into a little bit more detail. So right at the top of this confluence, let me just readjust an order here. Right. Let's get rid of this breakout. So some observations here, the obvious ones. I've got the 9 crossing the 200 EMA on every time frame. You know, I really like that. The higher the time frame, the better. Ideally on a 1 hour. But you can see the way everything's bunching up down here. We're about to break under here, but will that stay like that? It's not looking like it. Well, do you know what? I think I'm just going to put I'm going to walk the dog on the 5-minute bar. But we do need a stop under the previous swing low. So let's just measure that trade. So this is the prior candle, and we're 10.9, we'll call it 11. Spread is 2. So that's 13 plus 1, 14 pip stop. First target is a 2% target here, and then we can run it all the way up to here. Right, 14 and 28. Let's see if we can walk the dog on that one. So we're looking for a 2% trade there, with the market pushing in there and in there very nicely. 2% trade. I will put an alert on in case the market breaches the base here, then all bets might be off if that happens. And I'll just readjust my order. What's my pending order? 13292, 13294, 132, 13292. Fine. Bear with me in a minute, guys. I'm just trading 3 accounts at once at the moment. I need to put some copy trading software in play, I think, because it's a bit annoying doing this all the time. 13292. Right. Gold. Let's do we want to look at gold, or should we go back to the American markets? Let's have a quick look at gold. Right. We wanted the market to come all the way back down here, and it has. Zoom out, let's have a look. We're completely overbought, aren't we, on the 4 hour? It'd be nice to be able to get something out live, but if we can't get it live, we just can't get it live, and that's simple as that. Right into the detail. Let's wind these fractals back. This fractal structure is not going to hold for fractal reversal stops, but what it will do is get you out to the market pretty sweet if the market's running up and you move your stops up here and you're just trying to trail a stop using a fractal reversal. FTSE really down. Right. That's coming down to the area that I wanted it to. A quick look at that FTSE. I'm going to put an alert in case the market does break back up through here. We might be able to get a fractal jump on that and then back into this confluence here. So look at that FTSE, then we'll do this now because I think was it you, Roger, that was having issues with the ATR spreadsheets? Eyes on mute. Wow, we've hit.
Hi, Steve. Just need to get my microphone on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to check that I got the 5-day one correct as opposed to the 1-day one.
I see. Right. Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that now on the NAS, and I'll show you how to get the information. Right.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Wow. I wish this had done this earlier. It's hit the target right on the nose. Do you know what? I'm just wondering whether, rather than trade this today, why don't we? I'm just going to look at the options. Why don't we put a weekly option on the FTSE? We haven't got one. It's too late in the week, really, to put a monthly one on. October 18. Must admit the options on the on IG aren't particularly good on the FTSE. Very limited. Right. Oh, the American markets are just rolling, aren't they? And we've been stopped out on here as well with that ATR, which we should have probably. That's the absolute minimum that we would want to trade is the 15% ATR, which was 11.5, round that to 12. Ideally, on these gap closes, you want to be 30% ATR away from the close. So on the S&P, needed to be 23, and on the Dow, needed to be 157. So what we're going to do now, we'll use the NAS. I'll put some alerts down on the CBOS because I'm not going to do a CBOS bounce, that's for sure. Don't do that on the S&P. And we'll put an alert down here just in case, and we'll put an alert up here. Put the NAS up, and I'll show you. We'll do the levels on the NASDAQ. Just zoom this out. Get rid of old data all in the middle here. Right, so there's the old pivot points. So to find the pivot points, first of all, there are two things that we use. One of them is Wall Street Journal. And we'll, for instance, we're going to put the NAS in, which is NDX. That's one way of doing it. And select the NASDAQ here. And then hit historical prices. And that gives you all the price, all the different prices. Now, that's one way of getting all the different pivot points. The other way to get the pivot points is to hit major indices on investing.com with investing.com/indices, major indices. And in here, you've got all the different levels. You can get them by, you can't, it gives you a filter option, but the filter option doesn't do anything. You can't seem to just download the elements that you want. So the way to do it is to just click everything, hit download, and you'll see a spreadsheet come up like so. That's the download. Very easy just to look at the areas that you want to filter. Just quickly done in Excel. Hit the filter button, get rid of select, and select the different cash things that we trade every day. So one of them, of course, is the DAX, the Dow, the FTSE, the NASDAQ, and one the S&P 500, and some of us trade the Russell. So we apply that filter, get rid of that, and now we have a set of data. That's our spreadsheet. We can just copy that data there. We just copy that data, bonk, and then drop it in here and paste. We don't need to paste it again, it's already done. And before I paste the previous day, I copy the data and drop it in here. And then I just have a kind of a very, very quick reference. Now, the 5-day ATR is a little bit different. So to find a 5-day ATR, we use investing.com again, and then we look at the indices pivot points. So we just look, we just hit that area here. Come on, come on, come on. That's going slow, isn't it? Reload that again. It's going really slow. Don't know why it's going so slow. Just do it on a different screen. What the heck's going on? Site doesn't seem to be working. Come on. Absolutely littered with flipping adverts. Well, I'd like to show you, Roger, that the site's not, something's wrong with the site. It's running like a sloth. Let's give it a minute. Let's give it a little bit of time, maybe. Is it just that page? So that page is working absolutely fine. So why isn't?
Steve, on your previous page, it was set to hourly figures. Maybe it should be set to daily.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter at all. Just going to have a look. See the set pages. Will a load of the set pages. This doesn't matter. We don't use. This is nothing to do with what we're doing. Why won't it work? I'll use the link on the spreadsheet here. Not working. Why won't it work? Live charts, that's the one. I pressed the wrong button, that's probably why. I want my that's it. So it's live charts. If you look in the ATR folder on the OneDrive, I'll just put that on, the Learning Center, just put the Learning Center up. And if you look into key information and ATR, there's a data table, how to find the ATRs. And then it shows you how to find the ATRs, of course. All the different tables you need to look at. And then investing.com to find the average true range. And that's what we're looking for now. So we're looking at the flipping adverts are everywhere, aren't they? So click the link. We find the live charts. We'll expand the live charts just to get rid of everything. And we have our pre-downloads, which when you log in, it's all free. Log in investing.com in live charts. And then I have two different views. I have an ATR check for the indices, and then I have an ATR check for the FX. And the FX is all about when we're doing expiry trades. So we click that. And what I have selected here is the elements that we trade. So Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Russell, DAX, and the FTSE. So what you would do here, Roger, is you would type in the 5-day ATR, which of course this is live, so that this needs to be done before the market opens. All these need to be done before the market opens because these are set to daily, and now it's changed. So if you're looking at this before 2:30 UK in the afternoon, it's fine. But as soon as the market opens, the ATR changes. So you look at the ATR 144 there, and you type it in here, and then this is just a formulaic. This gives you the 30% ATR and the 15% ATR, and then you just type in all the other numbers, 66 for the S&P, and then of course 315 for the NASDAQ, and then 43, etc., etc., etc. And then it generates all these, the formulas generate all the correct ATR movements for you. So these are all 5-day ATRs, and that's the live charts. And doing that's your how to do it. There's the spreadsheets, looking slightly different now, but all the numbers and formulas are identical. And that can be in key trading information, finding pivot and ATR information, again, how to find it. And then there's videos to show you how to find the pivot in live charts, as well as investing.com, and then how to combine the pivots with the ATR, and it's all in there. So this is just your key information, rather outside of all the different trading strategies and things that we have. Okay. So what we can do this now live. We'll just put that half and half on the screen. We'll get rid of this, and what we're looking to do here. Wow, we've got that. I'm just looking on the other screen. Cable's having a really healthy pullback, which is quite nice. Really healthy pullback. Bear with me 1 minute. I'm just going to change my walking the dog entries a bit lower. There we go. Right. You know, this is driving me bonkers, this alerts. To the extent that I'm going to take them all off while I'm talking. Right. NASDAQ. We're going to put the levels in. So let's get without having or knowing these levels, you're trading blind. All you're doing is looking at support and resistance levels, which are not, they are reasonably okay, but they're not accurate. What you really want to see is all the hidden areas in the market, and where all the camera, the breakout long shorts are, where the daily pivot is, where the high, low of the day, where the classic resistance levels are 1, 2, and 3 for the support up and down. So what we can do here is we can have a look at how to put all these together. So what I'm going to do is, because these will flicker on and off, I'm going to move this chart to one side here. And have this table here, and we're going to miniaturize this a little bit so we can have both tables on together. So what we're going to do is look at the previous high. So previous high was 19,643.51. Previous low 19,330.81. The high 1995 1.79, and the low 19,723.94, and then the close was 19,839.83. And then say close, and it'll recalculate and overlay all the different pivots so we can see where we are in the market. One thing we do need to do is just double check yesterday's close was actually hit. So 19,344, 19,344, 19,344. No. So we have a closing gap in the marketplace. So let's put that closing gap in. 19,344.49. That's from yesterday. So what we have is a hole in the market somewhere that hasn't been traded in cash markets. So we'll quite interesting. So we can get rid of that now. We'll push this back. Just save the view. And we'll look at this NASDAQ. Let's take a helicopter view. We are a bit overcooked. On balance volumes down, 926 is down. This market does not want to rise today, does it? I would have expected this market to have a few more legs than this today. Even though it is a Friday, people are taking profits into Friday. Just quickly turn those off so we can get a clean sweep of the 4-hour support. We need three pins, at least 3 pin tops to identify a precise bandwidth. And you can see we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got same here as a low here. So we do have a range here. 578 pips. That's quite a large range. And the ATR today is 371. So we're on average, we're not expecting this range throughout the day to be hit. I'm just going to put the IB indicator in here, which will the US markets. Colors on will put initial balance high, initial balance low, and we'll make it a funky color so it stands out. And say I've got the S&P IB bot working, so we'll see in 10 minutes if it decides to. It will start to draw automatically in at past, and we'll see how that looks. We could try and do an IB trade. Pivots back on so we can see. Gives us a bit of clarity of what's happening in the market. Let's go down into the 1 hour detail. So Camarella breakout long. I would like this to be an area that we could get a bounce off, that's for sure. But the market has been a lot higher than this. We've got Camarella breakout short here, so that's an area that we do expect the market to resist into the yesterday's lows. Drilling in a little bit further. Very, very similar structure all the way. The American markets are just replicating each other in the way that they're moving, all coming down. We want the markets to give us a reversal. So we're either going to do a jump into the initial balance with a fracker, 15-minute bar. This gap was closed. This is the only one that actually ripped up on the open and went smack. Well, took 8 minutes to close the gap. So it did close the gap. So there's no market inefficiencies in here. And now the market is just drifting down. So I did want to sell these markets, but from higher up today. And the markets I was really interested in was the Dow and the S&P because they've hit all-time highs. And I was wanting to run the Nasdaq if we could, but the action is saying something different. If we could up into here for a little bump of Camarella breakout long, and then a breakout and testing up to the 2600 levels. And beyond a potential sell, but it's not going to happen. So from a pivot point of view, from a price action point of view, on the hour, you can quite clearly see we are trading under the 9 EMA. Absolutely, market's down. On balance, we can see the market is on just slow. We're getting a bit of positive turn here on the 5-minute, but that's nothing. We have a 926 cross. We've got the Renko blocks absolutely screaming down. It's just really negative. We're having a little bit of a pullback on the Renko block, and you can see from this wick, the rejection point down here, people are trying to buy this market. But again, down into the 15 minutes. There's the death candle on 15 minutes, closing under the 9 EMA. But we wanted to trade this from higher up. At the moment, the initial balance highs are here and the lows are here. So we know the 5-day ATR is 370 and we don't know what the balance is. It's a third of the average true range. So breakaways have definitely are definitely in the offing. We've got 100 pip range with an average potential of a 370 pip movement. So there's a reasonable chance that a breakaway will work. And we've got the bot set for doing a short trade on the S&P. So what we'll do, we'll watch that. We'll watch it trigger. I think I've got the bot set up. I'll just put one on here. Oh, good job I checked because it's not on. Let's turn this one off. Oh, yes, it is the IB bot. Yeah, initial balance bot. So we've got the IB testing. Got 34 bots just sat in the background in the bottom, but we'll run this live. Bit boring when markets, we've got no volatility at all. The markets are pretty terrible, really. 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes to go. I would like to sell this from higher up. I'd like to sell all the markets from higher up. If we get a break of camera breakout short, then it's definite screamer short, absolute certainty. That'll give that's a confirmation pivot there. All bets are off, and we'll be going straight under the 200 EMA as well, and that'll open up S3 for sure. And got a closing gap to close from yesterday as well. After all the rah-rah, the market's now just slowly coming back. Let's just do a quick fib on that range. So CBOS is right on the 38% fib. Should have no problem at all coming down to the 61% retrace. If that CBOS breaks, then we could be on for some bit of tasty trading. But it's got to play itself out. And this is where the patience really comes in. Has to kick in as a trader. Got to be patient. Some days we're whacking out, getting straight in, markets are moving and running really, really well. And other days, like today, it's running very, very slowly. Let's put that S&P on. In under 2 minutes, we should start getting some movement. You can, just as an illustration here, you can see how well the markets react to these pivots. Look at that, straight down, close just above Camarilla, breakout short, a rejection straight into this area that we identified where the market would probably bounce, and it has. We didn't do the bounce. And we didn't do the bounce this time. So it was a deliberate decision not to do the bounce, not to do the cam trade. The cam trade today would have been, what would it have been? 11.5, probably rounded that to 12. So the bounce trade is off camera, the breakout long, at stop of 12 and a target of 12. Oh, 11.6. Is it, it seems to be a day of nearly full trades. It's actually 11.5, but with the spread, you would have still not hit it by a small amount. So as you can see, 30 here, you can see straight away that initial balance indicator has started to draw instantly. So you can see the range that we've got, even on the 1 minute, it's all starting to tick and to draw out. Let's have a measure of the range. Arbitrary measure, so it's 20.8. The actual range is 30% ATR, that's nothing. So we could get breakout trades on here as well. So we'll wait and see. We do have that trade. Where's the bots? These are all the different bots. Did we call it the IB? The IB 1.1. There's the code. Runs on 1 minute chart. Yep. Let's see. Right, I've just spotted on another screen that we have been alerted and whacked into cable. So let's have a look at where we are with cable with here. We'll just save this. Let's get rid of the colouring now. It's made its point. It's done exactly what we thought it would do. It bounced off here. What we really need now is, regardless of our biases, wanting the market to come up, if the market's going to come down, the market's going to come down. There's nothing we can do about it. And if we break these levels, CBOS, the good thing here, the story about, you need a good story about the trades bit to put your strategy on, is a fractal break would be great. Below Camarilla breakout short. Just so happens the bottom initial balance is right below CBOS as well, which just gives you reaffirms that this could be a really tasty trade. We've got the Renko coming down. We've got a 926 indication that indicated at 240 to say the market was negative at 240. So that was here. Negative was marked. It was marked negative here. We weren't doing the 926. So let's go and look at this cable and let's see if we can get in cable, because that's my favorite trade today. Although we made a lot more money on gold, cable is the trade. So this is a 5 fracker. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to trade this 5 minute fracker, guys, because it's come off a decent bounce level. We're going to trade this, and we're going to trade it at 84.5, 11.5, 12, 13, 15 pips. 15, at least 2%. And you can smash the button now. Get rid of that trade, we don't need it. So we are under the swing low. It hasn't started showing yet. So what we've got here, we've got the swing low here. The market has, first of all, it came down, hit the top of the confluence here. It's had a bit of a try, and now it's dropped down into the bottom of this confluence. So what we can do, we can look at this trajectory. As we could make the assertion that we might be getting into a series of lower highs and lower lows in a bit of a bull market. So what we can do is we can mark off the highs coming down and then move the indicator a little bit lower, so a preemptive strike here, and then we can set an alert on this. So if the market does come up to this area, somewhere around here, which is We won't be live then, but it's going to be about 5:15, 5 o'clock. We can make sure that we put a stop to entry or take 1%, or indeed what we might do on this is to try and run a 5 fracker. So we've done a 5-minute fractal reversal here. We could add it to a 15-minute bar. And if we're going to do a 15-minute bar, we can look at some illustrations on 15-minute bars here while we're here. So let's not do this. This is early morning. This is Northern European. We're awake then. Indecision bar doesn't count. I'll turn the fractals off so it doesn't. So indecision bar doesn't count. Perfect 15-minute bar. We have a flat bottom Heikin Ashi with a close above the 9 EMA. It really doesn't get much better than that. A nice little squat candle before the market explodes. So that was a really nice 15-minute bar there. There's a 15-minute bar. A break above the 15-minute bar stops under that swing low. There is your 1-to-1. And in fact, it did a lot better than 1-to-1. 1-to over 3% trade if you'd hung on to it. Well over 3%. So nice 15-minute bar there. If you come back here, indecision bar, 15-minute bar there, a little bit bigger than this one, but a lovely 15-minute bar. A break of that 15-minute bar here. And on this occasion, it's a 1%er. Yeah, you don't know it wasn't going to make the full target. But the thing you ought to decide to do is when the market has gone up to 1%, you need to think about risk management, or you need to think about risk management and adding to your trade, keeping your risk profile as low as you can, around about 1%, while adding more than 1% leverage because you are risk-proofing your trade, you're insuring your trade. So what you would do when it comes up to here, 2 strategies. First strategy would be you could take half off and leave your stop where it is. In other words, the market, you take half profits, so the market comes back down and stops you out here, then you'd be break even. If it doesn't hit full target, then you can take your profit there, and you've made not quite 1% because you had you took half off here, and the remainder of half leverage goes there. So you kind of made 0.75%. The other one you can do is take half off, but stop to entry. By doing that, you've took half off and you've guaranteed banked 0.5%, and you're letting the market run. What you could do then is we do it combination trades, as you know. We can do the combo 15-minute bar with a 5-minute combo. So you can see, I'll switch them on so it draws the fractals on. So what you then will do is, once you've made this risk-free, you are looking for 5-minute fractals to extend your trade. And at the moment, there is nothing here. It's a breakaway. There is your first fractal. There's your first fractal here. There. It seems again a day of not quite getting there. What would we have done here? We didn't trade this. We're just analyzing realistically. What would you have done here? So what would we have done here? We would have lost money, I think. We would have lost money. We would have stayed in this trade and market would be moving up. We would have had a fractal break here. And then the market then rolled, and as soon as it closed under here, that's our warning to get out. So the market will have closed here, which was slightly under the entry. So you'll have lost a pip. No, you wouldn't. You'd lost a spread, 2 or 3 pips realistically. When you're measuring it looks like 1, but you've got to remember the spread that gets took off you. So you'd lose about 3 pips, but on here you would have gained an extra couple of pips. So in the sequence, you would have made some money, but that combination didn't work to the extent that I would have liked it to. if you're going to do that. So here we're doing a 5-minute fractal here. And what I'd like to be able to do is for this market to get up towards a 1% level, which is roughly around here. And then we'll be looking to start taking some risk off and looking at adding some leverage, because we do want to try and hit our target. We do have some issues in front of us that we've got to manage, and we can manage that. But we do want to make the most of this move. And that's just gonna, gotta wait for that. These things take time. It's always good when you look backwards. But when you sat watching these movements from where we are now, if you were sat watching here, you have to sit 1 3/4 hours just to see that move. This move, 1 3/4 hours. If we're waiting the same amount of time, then we're going to be here, as I mentioned, 5:15. But you're talking 5:15. It's only got 1 3/4 to make 2%. I think everybody would want to be quite happy waiting 1 3/4 hours to make it 2% trade. Let's see. Only time will tell. So let's just have a quick look at this little thing. Anything else this has been today? I'm just looking at these trades. We made 1,200 quid, then 1,000, then 1.5, then give 1,800 back, and then 1,600 back. P&L for the day, 3,100. After all the trades, that's pretty rubbish, really. What's the other one? £200. All right, okay. Right, so we're getting a wiggle on here. 0.5% off. Euro pound, is it going to give us anything? It's coming down again. It does need to come up a lot higher. I think we have wrung its neck. And go just leave it alone. Gold. Oh, we didn't do walking the dog on gold, did we? That was a shame. So walking the dog is where you put an entry above the flat tops, and again another entry in the flat tops. And when you get a reversal, you can get an aggressive move. 15-minute bar has closed above the 9 EMA. So what we could do, we're a little bit late to the party. Do we want to trade this? Just looking at that risk reward to the next target from here. It's not a fantastic risk reward at all, but got to hit. This was a second target, and the third target's. That is the third target. We've hit all the targets, haven't we? Flipping heck. Do I want to get into that? A 5-minute fractal. We can't get a 1-to-1, so we'll probably just have to actually that is a 1-to-1 if it pulls back, isn't it? So in these cases, what you can see, if you've missed the trade, which the trade is a bit lower here, the fractal break here, 7. What you can do, so you either let the trade go on by, or you can put the order in the area that you would have traded it, which would be there. And if the market does have a pullback, we have had a fractal pullback, but as you can see with these wicks, markets do move, in the range on the bars, so we could get triggered in. It's not looking likely. It's looking likely that the market's just going to run up, which is a little bit of a shame. But we could go into some detail on a 1 minute, but let's not do that live, because not everyone likes to trade that, and there's a few scalpers, or I should say people that like to scalp are not here. So there's no point in doing that, really.
Steve, on that scalping, would you take the second fractal and like set the fractals to 2 or 3 on a 1 minute chart?
Let's have a look then here. With the way the structure's gone at the moment, I'd probably, let's have a quick look, because time's of the essence on this, isn't it, with this fracking. It would have to, well, when you're looking at the spike in the sea, you'd get away with 2. You'd get away with a 2 count on a 1 minute if you wanted to do that. And we're looking for this target we're obviously not going to get this. Well, that's the wrong thing to say. It's not obvious, but it's not looking likely that the market's going to pull back. Would be nice to get it, of course. And the next fractal, I guess we could trade this live. That's the next fractal here. Stop's going to be here, 4.1. It's not going to hit a fibbo. Let's have a little look here. Get rid of that. I used to, with the old Klondike Pete, we used to trade this on 20-second ticker. Used to drive people bonkers. So, but you got to be very quick and very decisive. You got 20-second ticks here. One thing you do not want to see is this. When you get the market nipping in on a fractal, very much like a bolly. The market's either going to burst down or it's going to burst up. And looking at, so you've got a very small spread here, so you could easily do 3.5 and 3.5. So we can do this now just for some fun. Make sure it's 1% risk. But yeah, you can see it's breaking to the downside. Every time this happens, it's one of those, every time I get this nip in, that's a surefire sign that the market's just going to have a little pullback. One of the things you do want to watch and have a look at is the impulsive move. I know it's only 2.3. You're expecting something in the same range, within a pip. 2.3 to, what was this one? As long as these ranges are kind of kept okay, then you haven't really got an issue, and you're not going to get not going to get nailed into the trade, because you are looking at a breakout of the last fractal. So kind of 1.8, 2.3, 2. It's just what's expected. No, it's a bit more than that, isn't it? That's not 2. What was it? 2.2, 2.3. It's just normal. And we're expecting this one to break again. I think I would prefer the top of that fractal range to break, because we've got some steps coming down now, rather than the market just pulling back one and then moving up, and this is not even pulling back one. The market just pulled back and then straight through. We've got some little steps here. It's just taking note of how the market's running, how it's looking. But if you are trading in these very low time frames, then you can't be flicking around from chart to chart. You've got to keep on it. At least it's a wee bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that's going to trigger. I'm going to put an alert on there. So I'm going to go back to cable.
Okay.
I'm putting an alert on there. I'm putting an alert down here as well. If those come off, then that structure is gone. Oops, what have I done? Press the wrong thing. That's a Spanish arrangement. Well, I'm in Spain. Cable. There we are. Bit more sedate. 15-minute bars. Breaking a 15-minute bar there is the opportunity, if you haven't already traded this, to take a 15-minute bar reversal. So that would be the 15-minute bar reversal here. And to be super accurate, 72 dead, spread 1, 2, raise 69, and that would do the job. So that would be that would be a 15-minute bar target. We were going to have a look at the S&P, weren't we? To see if everything has been drawn in okay. What's happening with the 1 minute? All right, okay, so we're still ranging. Even on the 1 minute, look at that. That is just flat. I must admit, if you'd come in to watch for the first time this sort of stuff, it's like pulling teeth. It is so slow, but do you know what? These are the things you got to go through as a trader. It's not always high mass volatility and ripping money, but yeah. One of our alerts has gone off, and that will be gold. You're quite interesting. Shall we go back to gold? Well, we won't go back to gold. I'm looking at gold on a different screen, so that's fine. We'll go back to gold if it starts moving back up. Otherwise, we'll keep an eye on watching. This balance break. Certainly is a trade there to be had. We're in gold. We're waiting for a fractal breakup on gold as well. On a 20-second ticker, it's ticking away like Billy R. We've got cable just relaxing down a wee bit. So we're just breaking initial balance now. What I want to do is, you can see here there's a fractal starting on the 1 minute. We've got a bot monitoring this, but the conditions obviously haven't been met for the bot. So manually, we're going to take a fractal break there, here. This is a fractal break. It will be a fractal break. And it's 10 pips. So we can set that for 10 and 10. We are under camera breakout short. 10 seconds to go before it draws. And we should be 80.5. We might have to reset this for the simple reason we'll get a better stop with a fractal set at the moment. But we'll see. We want to get that break when our risk is on that profile. So let's just wait and see. Yeah, it's going to give us a smaller fractal break. Oh no, it isn't. It's it winding and unwinding. Cable's gone negative. Well, it has a mirror machine. Yeah, 4 pips down. We're not having this afternoon's been smacked on the nose twice this afternoon. That's a much smaller stop. I don't like that side of that stop. It's very small, but I haven't had time to adjust it. But we're in this coming down now. Everything's just a sell today, isn't it? We knew it was going to potentially come off today, but we wanted it to come off higher up. It's just not happening. At this rate, I'm not going to hang around till 4:30 today. Sometimes you gotta know when to call it a day. Let's get a look at these alerts. None of them are going off. So we've got the ideal bounce. But I'm just not going to bother with that market falling today, not until Friday. It's not going to get out of these daily lows. It needs to break out. Needs to break it out of 82.46. Only a madman would trade that long now on a Friday afternoon. There's the initial balance, and there's the breakouts all the way down here. It's 4:05 anyway, isn't it? Am I going to bother waiting? No, get out of it. Really slow. Come on. Do you know what? You might get your 20-second ticker breaking up there, Andy. On gold. Just looking at a difference.
Oh, yeah, just watching that now. So I've got my order on.
Yeah. Makes for exciting life.
Yeah.
This afternoon's been crazy slow. If I remember rightly, last Friday it was as well, wasn't it?
It was, Steve, yeah. And then I think the two or three before that were really good. I think they were six and 8%ers. But last Friday was like this.
I know, they're pulling flipping teeth. Let's see if we can get this rabbit in the headlights trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
The market seems to have lost interest this afternoon, and the volume is just not there. You're
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at
just watching the FTSE and the DAX. I mean, they stopped coming off, but they really got no enthusiasm to get going
no.
again.
We've got a bit of enthusiasm. We've got on balance the volumes up, but the amount of participants are down. The average true range is coming down.
Mm.
Less and less people wanting to buy. On balance, the buying's got, but what we really need to see is this ATR start to move up
Yeah,
right behind the volume and give that a wee push. Wishful thinking at the moment.
yeah, I think so.
Well, that's what trading's, all about. You gotta have patience, you gotta have belief in your trading, don't you? And
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
but you gotta go through days like today. It makes you think, oh, well, what's the point in trading Fridays? It's just the pin in the
But
backside.
then you can say that about Mondays, can't you? Because
Yeah,
sometimes Mondays are dreadful.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly can.
I can't remember. Are you in cable, Steve?
Yes, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay. It's just been dithering around cable, hasn't it?
Yeah, sort of just beginning to turn around a little bit.
Yeah.
Be nice if it can sort of get some legs now.
Yeah. It's not doing anything gold, is it?
Not really. Oil's had a little push up. Yeah, gold might have run out of power legs.
It's flipping heck, it's not brilliant, is it? It's really it's gone to the really struggling place now. Let's kind of look at that FTSE into the close. It's just staying around there, isn't it? cable is it's trying, certainly is trying. There's absolutely a false start there, didn't we, on the 15th
Yeah.
pin? But there we go.
Yeah, it failed to take off that, didn't it?
Yeah, we've got a decent stop, so the reason is there's a reason for the stop being there. It should hold. We just need to get some. There's nothing. We're getting more and more interest with the ATR running up. Let's get this down to a smaller level so we can actually see if there's any buying coming through on balance. Nothing. People are walking away. The market's going down. Well, we might get some more buys into this level. Let's have a look at see what happened with that S&P. Has that decided S&P's doing nothing either? Really slow.
Yeah. Decent bar though on the S&P. Decent 15-minute bar.
Is that right? But it is against the trend, unfortunately, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can trade against the trend. Oh, yes, that's a nice flat top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's encouraging.
It is, yeah. It's something a bit more positive.
Yeah, I'm breaking below camera the breakout short, so that's all right. Yeah, that's feel a bit more positive about that, looking at that action. Yeah. Yeah, the way the markets are creeping, this could creep all the way down to S3.
Yeah.
This could just be a real creeper trade. It just dying away slowly. That's it, the thing is, when the markets go up, it needs a lot of rah-rah, a lot of people to support it, get the confidence. But when the markets are flat and going down, they go down a lot faster because people just walk away. They get bored and throw their hands in the air, get rid of the position. The bears start salivating, coming in, and it just ends up with a snowball and starts going.
I always say it goes up the stairs and down in the lift.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, if we take a fib of the last of the 1 hour bars, the 78.6 is sitting just below D3,
Right.
DS3.
It's a very viable target with when you're looking at this 15-minute bar. If we go a nice, if this bar actually closes with that flat top, and it looks like it's going to, very encouraging indeed. Especially we're under camera, the breakout short should be good. Let's have a quick look at gold. Nice flat top as well. It'd be nice to have an open under camera breakout short. It's right on the cam level, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's that's the initial balance together with the cam trade. There's another one there. You can see how the speed, how everything's speeding up. Nice to get one under the belt, hey?
Yeah, yeah, I'm holding it at the moment. I don't know whether to take the 1%.
You've did you come out or did you
No, no, I've sort of pulled my target out.
right, okay. I think I will take another if this can hold on and provide a fractal, then I'll get rid of this initial balance. It's just making so look at that flat, look at that frac top there. That's a nice stopper.
Yeah, yeah,
And we do have that gap all the way down here. It's a Friday. We could make hay with this. It'd be nice to just needs to slow down a touch so I can get back in.
probably going to print us another fractal.
It looks like it's going to print one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yes. There we have it. Right. Let's just take that view out a bit. Mark this up. Got a bit of soft resistance around here. And we've got the 61% Fibo here. S3 and the 78.6 here. Zooming right out though.
yeah,
Market could do with a little rollover, couldn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Very promising 4-hour bar that. And if it closes under the 9 EMA, then really I think all bets are off and this market is going to continue coming down. We're going to have lots of movement in the smaller time frames, but you know, it's quite rare that you get a close of the 9 EMA on a 4 hour, and the market doesn't follow through.
Yeah, right.
There's a close under it. Then we had a dancing around, and the market came right down. We haven't got this confluence move as well, haven't we? There.
Yeah. Yeah.
Market came down, went along, and dropped out the bottom. Really, there's nothing really in its way, really, down to that. We've got a bit of soft underbelly here with a resistance, that spike up. But from where a potential entry might reside, we've got a 1% run down to the 61.8% Fibon. One of those things that sometimes you stick it on and walk away and let it go through all its pain of
Yeah.
up and down, up and down, up and down. There's nothing super active to trade and scalp, is there? There's just nothing there. See the waves coming out. So we've got wave 1, 2, 1, 2, another one. How far will this one come back up? Well, that moved 13 pips.
Pullbacks are getting a bit bigger, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Last one was 13. Shouldn't be worried about anything up to around 13 at all. It's normal breathing. Well, a bit cuts out it's like a kid's colouring book now, isn't it?
yeah.
It's just constant, it doesn't matter what it looks like, really. It's just a matter of, yeah, drawing everything in, making sure technically everything's okay, because we're technically trading this. Or I should have said emotionally trading it.
Yeah. One or the other.
Well, yeah, all we're doing is playing against other people's emotions, aren't we? That are in the market, everyone's trying to make a rupee or two. And everyone's clicking buttons, and someone's got to lose on the other side. The good on the small point here, the good thing is that the market is putting in a series of lower highs all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just bouncing at the moment on that. I think it's the hourly 50% fib level. That's where that bounce was.
All the Mickey Longs are trying to go along.
Yeah.
That's something I should give Mike a call, see how he's doing. time's it now? It's still, yeah. Wait till the close on the UK. Be quite interested to see what happens to the FTSE. Nothing. Just keep hit the floor and it's grubbing along the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, there's just no bounce to it.
No. Dead cat bounce, it's just gone. What about the DAX? Oh, the DAX did close its gap. Now that would be interesting for oh, can we get a DAX weekly long? DAX weekly long next week. 23rd, it's a weekly expiry, 23rd. That's
Monday.
It's Monday.
So it must be the 20th.
No, it's definitely the 23rd. Very peculiar stuff. 18, 17, 18,700, 93 at the moment for contract.
Oh yeah.
It's absolute screamer there. It's not going to stay down there.
Yeah. See, 18,900 is only 18.
Yeah.
And that should be achievable.
Yeah, I'm just looking at 300 pip drop. I'm just looking at, on a Fibbo for Monday. Try and buy something really, to get something really reasonably priced. 19, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Monday night on the bounce. 18 now. Back up into these levels. Well, yeah, it's we're going to close here, and we're going to leave a screaming close all the way up here for Monday, and we're going to have a close all the way down here. But the prices are going to be completely different then. I think I'll be minded to buy that 18.9 at 19.5. I've just bought it at 19.6.
I think it's good.
So yeah, I've got a call option in there.
Are you putting a limit on it, Steve?
No, I'm going to leave it and see where it gets to Monday, I think. And we can just trade it. We should get it. We should get a bounce off this level. It's that gap has now been closed. There's no reason now why the market makers won't leave it alone. Anyway, market is closed at 4:30 now, so we bought it on the close. So that was a nice buy.
Yeah.
And I think we can do quite well out of that. Right, let's just have a quick look at what's happening with this sucker. Has it turned around yet?
Yeah, the S&P's falling off a bit.
Right, we have a new fractal here, don't we, to come down? I'm just wondering whether I could put in quite a tight fractal here, above here still. I am going to do this. So let's have a measure where we are at the moment. We're looking at roughly 6, aren't we? So I'm going to put that in at 6. I'm going to smash it. Get rid of this break now. 6 pip stop above this fractal range here on the basis we've got lower highs all the time, and we're going to give it some at least down to the 61.8 fib on. That'll do the job. Three and a half % if that comes off, with a nice stop above the initial balance, above the daily low, and above the fractals.
Yeah, I'm in on that, Steve.
Yeah, so we need to keep this running. So we just pulled 1% out. It'd be nice to pull another. If we can pull another 3% out, that would make up for the. We've got smacked in the face twice, didn't we? So, and then we've got one back that I'm talking about just this afternoon. So that should be okay. Should do all right. That gold was a monster trade. 3.1% this morning was good. And the cable was good, but cable's just it's not our friend at the moment this afternoon.
No, cable's like being a bugger, isn't it? Well, it's been a bugger.
Oh, it's just took us out. Just.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, got to be patient and then wait for I think what I'll do now then is I'm going to wait for a 15-minute bar above the 9 EMA now. That's it. That's the point of contention, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Support and resistance have been blown away. So what we need to do now is be patient. So I think I'll go shopping, and I'll get back and see where the market's when we've got the volume is really dying off. Probably people taking profits, people who are shorting it, but there's always people going to short a positive market. But right, well, I'm going to leave this now. Going to go shopping, and I would like to see a good 3%
When we get back.
in the bank when I get back. That would be nice.
Fingers crossed, Steve.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. When is it when are you back off to Spain, fella?
Thursday. Yeah, Matt, I head out Thursday, and I'm probably out there for, well, I'd say at least 3 weeks. So, but I'll be up your way. Anything after the first week, I could be up your way.
All right, well, give us a shout.
Yeah, when are you back out, Steve?
Well, I'm out, and I don't know when I'm going to come back. I think it's the 16th of November. So I'm
All
going
right, yeah, I'll be out there significantly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hang on a second, have I just been stopped out?
Yeah.
Oh, we're just giving the money back, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right, that's me.
Yeah, we just got done.
We've sat here, so 3, 4. After all the winning, all that stuff this morning, we're only 1% up. Can't believe it.
That's trading, mate.
That's trading, yeah. Yeah, we smashed it. If we'd finished this morning, it would have been 4% up.
I know.
Never mind.
Never mind. Here's what it is.
Any money. I'm going to. What am I going to do? Am I going to frack it? Am I going to put an order in on that frack? I think I will put an order in on that frack, but I think.
Yeah, I've got one on there.
You've got one on, have you?
Yeah, at 74.
Yeah. I am all
Just
right.
hiding the stop somewhere. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm going to. That's huge stops now. I'll leave it. Right, I'm done. I'll tip me miserable 1%. Never mind. All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Yeah, see you, Steve.
Yeah, I'll see you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Monday. See you
Yeah,
then.
all right, mate. Ta-da then. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.